Alrighty. Still a little bit early, but it's better to always be early than late. Just gonna go ahead and see how we are looking. There's the camera. Move over. Probably. Gonna go ahead and hide good old paint. I actually need to still install a better program. Everyone always swears by GIMP. I've never had a lot of luck using it. Guess since I've got another 8 minutes before we can officially get started. But yeah, I already saw that Sparky is asking, hey, when I have a go, so we'll get that started in a little bit. But for these little replay analyses, it'll help if... I actually need to find a thing of tissues. It's not... Right. These allergies are actually absolutely destroying me this morning. So, I need a button to be able to get Spuddy over, please. Maybe I'll go ahead and give GIMP a go for, let's see, download GIMP. I'm more familiar with paint.net, so there's a chance I may actually just end up going with that. Because yeah, just using paint is, it's pretty bad. You can't have layers. That for me is the biggest thing. But so we're gonna go ahead and get everything started here in just a moment. Let me make sure the stream's still doing okay. Alrighty, so Sparky's already sent me the challenge. While Sparky's went ahead and sent me the challenge, does anybody have requests as to what tribe I should play? Now, I've been playing a lot of Barter recently because I'm just trying to get a Barter gameplay for an upcoming tutorial I'm working on, but I'm actually okay. Barter's definitely not my favorite. I find them quote-unquote too easy. So... let's see if I can get away with installing GIMP in the background. Oh, I've got a Vinger vote, Yadak vote, random vote, Symanti. I mean, I could do a Symanti game. Now I've accidentally launched, cancel this installation. I accidentally launched the installer 4 times. Let's not do that. Install for me only. I've got 2 votes for random. I've got 3 votes for random. 2 of them are by the same person. Sparky says they did random. It never hurts to do a random game. We got 4 minutes before we get started. Ilian, let's see. If only there's like an easy way for me to put up a... Man, my allergies are killing me. I will be right back. If only there's an easy way to set up a voting poll. I'll be back. keeps getting worse. Probably gonna turn off the camera because. Alrighty. Quetzal's music is awesome. It is. I do need more music though, because this awesome music can very quickly get repetitive. But yes, no, I love Quetzal's thing. Let's see. Sparky's saying that they got very lucky in the little roulette. I've got to vote for Quetzal. Cool. So right now I'm still in the process of installing GIMP, so that way we could do replay analyses. I might end up still going with Random Tribe. We ended up playing a lot of really fascinating games and reviewing some good ones too yesterday. Last night ended up being fantastic when it came to stream quality. We're gonna go ahead and hide the camera just for a little bit, because random is fun as long as he gets Quetzal. Okay. Alrighty, so it's pretty much 9. We're gonna be getting started with everything. Hope I win. Hey, I at least hope it's a fantastic game. I ended up having a really good game. I was Quetzal versus a barter last night, and that game lasted an hour. And that one was a live game. I'm probably going to upload that one to, cut that one out and put it into the YouTube as its own standalone, because that game was definitely worth, is definitely worth a watch. What is it, Cleo? You gonna jump up? Yep. Yes, she is. Sit. Sit. Good girl. Get comfy. Alrighty. We are going to get started. Everyone, welcome to the stream. We're going to go ahead and continue our fantastic games and replay analyses. Let's hope this game is less than an hour. I'm not gonna lie, I hope so too. I prefer closer to 30 minutes. And since I'm not in the multiplayer menu, I don't see what tribe I am. So I'm not even gonna see what tribe I am until we get loaded into the game. And here we are. Oh boy. This is gonna be fun. Oh, I also didn't realize that this is continents. This is actually gonna be really rough for me. True question. Do I train a warrior? I really probably should, just out of good practice. So, we went ahead. I'm probably gonna get stream sniped when it comes to all this audio, but we went ahead and spawned as Imo. And Imo is very passive. Now, their important thing is meditation with the pacifist. Monument. It is important to note that they are allowed to be attacked, but they are not allowed to do the attacking. We're gonna go and move this warrior. Do we need to support it? We do not. So we're gonna go down here, find this village. Oh boy. And Imo always has the very interesting thing of, do you pick up philosophy? A lot of times the answer is actually going to be no. Because we're on a smaller map of continents in this case, we're probably not actually going to be picking up monuments. Or we're probably not going to be picking up philosophy. Because philosophy really slows down your early game by a lot. But philosophy does allow you to pick up multiple tags. Oh, so this is a really horrible spawn that I ended up getting. I need fishing for my capital, and I need organization for my 2 cities. I am gonna need, man, I need such a wide variety of resources here. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up philosophy, and y'all are gonna probably see exactly why this is gonna be a mistake this game. We are gonna try to rush getting this central city right here to get to level, or to try to get a giant out of here. One other thing that's about IMO is not only do they not have any starting resources and they don't have a very strong economy, but they also have a lot of mountains, making it very difficult for them to really accomplish anything. We're going to go ahead and pick up organization. And we're going to pick up our 2 cities, pass the turn, and we are going to get an explore off. And then we're going to do everything we can to try to push this explorer over to find barter as quickly as possible. We got our pacifist monument, which is all fine and dandy. We're actually going to send this... we're going to go ahead and send the warrior north. We're going to do an explore. No! Go! Go! Go north! Go north! We're going to do an altar of peace. Resources. And harvest fruit, harvest fruit. Get that workshop and send that warrior over. Oh, this could have been better. But here's the nice thing. Looks like we're not going to be rushed. It's, this is definitely not the greatest spawn, but we got exactly what IMO needs, which is time. We're able to get that pacifist monument out. Not monument, man, I cannot speak right now with these allergies. We got the pacifist monument out in very timely manner. And if I can get 4 pops by, looks like hunting followed by forestry, which is 12 stars, then I need another 4, so I need 16 stars. In 2 turns, I can expand the borders of Nizori, but I won't be able to get a giant very easily, my goodness. We're going to the ruins, and honestly, what I want to do is pick up riders normally. I hear you, Cleo. Normally I want to pick up those riders. I'm guessing they actually spawned, because barter's moving very slowly here. We're going to train a warrior and pass the turn. This is going to make it to where we can't expand the borders next turn, which is an issue. Cleo. Maybe I should have picked up writing. We'll see what we get here. A Schlossman. Yes. That's actually very nice. Kind of want to consider climbing, actually. So climbing is going to give me these ruins. It's also going to allow me to step onto these mountains here and find our barter opponents. Yeah, that's probably what we're going to end up doing. The issue is IMO doesn't really get a lot of farmland, because we should be able to see all the crops. Okay, well, barter already has, has climbing, has, riders. Fantastic. That's okay. So, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna go ahead and pick up that climbing tech. We're gonna hit bop bop, kill, and let's go ahead and expand those borders. Alright, hunting, harvest fruit, and we're gonna lumber hot right here. Border growth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I can, but I get rid of a really powerful customs house spot. So we're now at turn 9, and we're at the point where... Okay, interesting. We're at the point where we're going to be able to start snowballing. I don't think I'm going to focus on the customs house. I think if I get the customs houses, I have actually won at that point, as we're already on the water. We're going to go ahead and claim these ruins, resources. We're going to go ahead and travel on over to here. And then we are going to go fruit, haunt, lumberhot, and lumberhot. That's a giant. Thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and save for a turn. I do need to consider my own riders, though. We're going to go ahead and pick up riding. We're going to go ahead and get that hit off, just because it's a very powerful hit. So the importance of what's going on over here is we're about to be roading our giant really far forward. We're going to try to kill the Schwarzman. Nice. That's a strong play. You're going to get an Explore off? Nope. You're going to get a Workshop. Fine by me. But I got exactly what Imo wanted, which was time. I'm going to train warriors. That's fine. They'll be able to kill this Schwarzman no matter what I end up doing, unless we go roads. We're going to road right over to here. Bring this Schwarzman back. Giant forward. This rider over here. We're going to train a rider over here. He doesn't really need explorers when he can watch your stream. You're not wrong. So our opponent has a very powerful city right over here. Right now it's only level 3, but they can easily take a bunch of territory with this. They expand the borders, they can get at least one giant, so they've got a very powerful one. The issue is by expanding the borders, you don't rush out the giants, which is what they need right now. I'm gonna try to see if I can get my swordsman all healthy again. Oy. May end up turning off this camera. Allergies are killing me. I'm gonna go ahead and get that giant. Yep, there's the giant. One, two, three, four. Road, road, road. This is not a play that you should be doing. This is too aggressive. But I will say this time and again, I am a very aggressive player. Ooh, nice. And then we're going to take this village over here. Last but not least, we're going to train a... you know what? We're not going to train a safety warrior. I can easily get another giant out of this new city if I save for one more turn. Is it really worth saving for one more turn? I also need to consider leveling up my capital with 2 roads. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and heal up. I can road that giant over to... That's a very interesting road placement. pretty certain this giant can kill. My goodness. Oh, goodness. My. Why is this content not as popular on YouTube? This is so interesting. I appreciate that. Probably because not a lot of people really know about this sort of content. How aggressive do I want to be? My answer is always yes. I want to be aggressive. Hard to find properly. It's also, if people aren't looking for it, they're not going to find it. I'm actually going to continue to be as aggressive as I possibly can. We're going to go bop-a-da-bop-a-bop. Retreat this back. Bring you on forward. Bop-a-da-bop. And let's go ahead and get a siege. We're going to hunt. Hunt. Workshop. We're going to hunt. We're actually going to chop this tree because it's such a strong workshop or smithery. We're going to grab those resources. And at this point, I actually need... I need a slightly better economy. I can consider a mind bender. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna make a mind bender. I could make a mind bender. You know what? We're to Park of Fortune here. I should have done this turns ago. We're gonna go resources. Rider. Rider. Pass the turn. I want to see some Mindbender gaming. It will happen soon. But Mindbenders are very... Hey, that's a killer monument. I do want to make Mindbenders. But Mindbenders are very vulnerable. I'm gonna do that. Ooh, boy! That's a lot of riders you're throwing in. I do need to consider going straight to Smithery, get Schwadsman. But I actually do think it's probably good, an appropriate time for me to consider Mindbenders. 5. We're going to go ahead and attempt to claim both of these. And you know what? Everyone's wanting to see the Mindbender. We're going to go ahead and train at least one. We will have to... You know what? I'm going to go ahead and pick up that mining. Actually, I was going to do mining stuff, but turns out I don't have a place to do that. I thought I actually had metal here for some reason. We're going to go ahead and heal this giant up. That giant kind of zone controls things that come out and hit the Mindbenders, right? I'm going to go ahead and make one more rider and then pass the turn. Let's see. This giant on the mountain has already won like 15 stars, right? I'm surprised to see how Quetzalcoatl can be played. I don't think I would be as good as you yet. Maybe, but I definitely wasn't this good a year ago. Alright. So, our opponent, Sparky, is proposing a trade. Go over here, zoom on over, bop, 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 bop. Rush you on back, zoom you forward, bop, 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 and then we're going to go ahead and siege. Can I get another giant here? Because it'd be great if I could heal with this Mindbender in the same turn. And we're going to continue to heal with this giant, because this giant is just imposing its will on our opponent, and they just can't do anything about it. We might as well build one more road. Get that connection. Harvest a fruit. Let's go with the workshop. I'm going to actually go ahead and conquer over here. Lumberhot. Fruit. Explore. Ooh, a catapult. And they got a city back here. Nice! I could get a bazaar this turn. Is that a thing to consider? And I timed out. 1, 2, 3. How close am I to math? And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Next turn still, right? His catapult do be annoying. Alright, well, I'm low on time. I'm gonna spend a little turn to think of my next upcoming turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Road. Road. That's the Grand Bazaar. Road. Nope. Road. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, that's right. I need to kill you really fast. Thank you. Run you all the way over here. Bop, bop, bop. We're gonna road you all the way over here. Bop, 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 bop. Heal you up. Move you on forward. And you know what? We're gonna bring you both over here. I should have done that first. Lumberhot, mine. Gonna get those stars. And you know what? We're just gonna clear these forests. I'm just gonna let that city go. Would like to get a smithery. I also could have gotten mathematics. I have a lot of options here. We're gonna pick up a mine. We're gonna pick up a mine. We're gonna just get 2 more pops. We're gonna get 2 more mines. More pops. And out of time. Fascinating. Yes, we're gonna go ahead and let that city go. That's okay. Yeah, I actually could have done a giant push there if I picked up mathematics, but kind of not fully in it right now. We are going to run this rider forward, bop, bop, bop. Run this warrior forward, bop, bop, bop. Bring you on back. Go ahead and hit that heal. And we're gonna do the fun thing of let's just drink multiple mind vendors. What is he gonna do? Gonna pick up fishing. It's time to start getting on the water. Fishing. Super unit. Ooh, whaling opportunities here. You know what? We're gonna go ahead and pick up whaling just so I have it now. And I'm actually going to make very greedy plays. Never mind, I don't have the resources. We are going to instead, how do I want to do this? I'm just going to train a couple of riders, and we're just going to pass the turn. I'm going to do a little bit of thinking while it's their turn. So I would like to consider getting on the water, because I have the economy to do it. I'd like to kind of just throw multiple mind benders into the enemy. So we're going to do a very rough, tough move that our opponent can't do anything about. And we're just going to take this city back with 2 mind benders. Nobody's heard of the IMO Inquisition. Sparky's also doing a good job to play fast to prevent me from thinking. I would like to talk and think, but I don't have the option to. So what we're going to do, we're going to pick up sailing so that way I can expand the borders of my capital, get a lot more whales, start getting onto that water. So we're going to road right over to here, we're going to road right over to here. Have fun with that. Then after that, we are going to run this right over here. Bop, 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 bop. Retreat it on back. Run. We're going to build a singular road. We're going to ride this road, rider forward, bop, 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 bop. Ride it on back. We're going to go ahead and heal up all of our units. We're going to heal up this giant, even though it's not the bestest of ideas. Now that I'm looking at it, we're going to move this giant over here. We're going to move this giant on over here. Like I said, we're going to pick up sailing so we start getting onto that water port. Fishing. Fishing. Expand the borders. Whales! We're going to train another mind bender over here. And we're going to pick up trade. Customs house. Rider. We're going to the water right now, past the turn. There we go. Try to start stockpiling our time up again, because Sparky's got 8 minutes. That is very true. It is a peaceful conquest. Rushing the giant away! Actually, so I did a misplay. I should have considered that they would go get sailing, and I should have moved the mindbender over here, so... good job, taking advantage of my, misplay. Oh boy, I only feel partially bad. Alrighty, so here's what we're going to do on this turn. We're going to pick up Smithery. Why are we picking up Smithery? I thought we were getting on the water. That is correct, but what we're going to do is we're going to move this giant on over to here. We're going to move this rider on over to here. We're going to build the gate of power in this location right here as a flex. We're going to build a forge. And with a super unit, Mindbender goes here. Thank you. Alrighty. So we're going to go ahead and hit the warrior, bring it on back. We're going to hit the warrior. We're going to bring it on back. We're going to heal. We're going to continue to heal this giant. Okay. So, Goalie released a video to... Yeah, I mean, it's perfectly understandable about the resignation. They played a very good game, but at this point, I just get to starve them out with IMO diplomacy. You know what? We can just road over here and get this. I don't have stars. But yes. So, there are a few tribes that excel with pushing mechanics. Goalie actually released a video about understanding how unit pushing works. So if you're really wanting to understand what exactly happened there, you're going to watch this video because he goes into full depth explanation about everything. But we're going to go ahead and review the replay, mostly so that way we can take a look at that last turn. Just so that way everyone can sort of see what's going on. Alright, we're going to go ahead and take a print screen. Is GIMP finished installing yet? Can I launch it? Let's try launching GIMP and see if we can use GIMP instead of Paint. But yeah, good game, Sparky. That was a pretty rough game. We can already tell by your spawn that you were very limited on resources. Maybe should have tried, once you got a strong economy, getting on the water a little bit faster, but that's tricky to do. And IMO, especially if they are allowed to start off with philosophy, will run away in the late game. Well, mid to late game, but not the super late game. Other tribes will do better. Maybe I should just use Paint, just because I'm already familiar with Paint. I'll learn GIMP. You know, we're going to learn GIMP a different day. Alright, so we're going to bring Paint back up. And we're going to kind of discuss pretty much what ended up happening. We're going to... crop to this. There we go. Alrighty. I'm gonna check, make sure that everything's looking good. I had a really bad spawn. Yeah, I mean, we'll go over the spawn in a little bit, but at least for this topic, we're gonna go how that push ended up happening. So every unit in Polytopia, as you can sort of see, you can see that units are looking to the whoops. We have units that are looking to the left and looking to the right. But it turns out every single unit is actually looking in all sorts of directions. Whereas this unit right here, because it moved in this direction, is actually facing this direction. And sort of like how this Mindbender moved in this direction, is actually facing this direction. So we have you looking over here, and you looking over here. And that is called the unit's heading. Now, the reason that heading is very important is whenever a unit gets pushed, they are either going to move in the direction of their heading, or they're going to move backwards if they're being pushed by an enemy city. When units spawn, their heading is always towards the center of the map. Now, in this case, the center of the map, I believe, is right here. So this unit's looking this general direction and is actually pointing this way. So if I did that exact play, the Mindbender would have gotten pushed over to this tile right over here. So I actually did not need to move my rider over here. I was just being extra safe. But when I moved this giant to go onto this tile right over here, well, it can no longer go to that tile as there's a giant there. So then what ends up happening is it's going to alternate from going left to right to see where it should go. So first it's actually going to see if it can go here. Well, there's a rider in this tile, so it can't go there. So in this case, the Mindbender will then get pushed onto this forest tile, and it keeps its action. So, because Mindbenders, when they move, or when they walk, that's it. That's their turn. They're no longer able to attack. They don't have the proper skills in order to attack. But, since it got pushed here, it still retains its action, and that's what allowed me to take the giant in that turn. I would definitely watch Goalie's video. You can get a much better explanation about how all that works by watching his. Could you play without stream 24 hours match? Yes, just not on the computer. Find Tolby on the mobile device, and that's me. That's the one that you're going to want to challenge. And I do play 24-hour games. It usually ends up being like 2 turns a day, but yeah. Alrighty. Goalie's video on it's very explanatory. Yes. Yeah, that is a very useful video for learning mechanics like that. Cool. So when it comes to this game about the spawn, we actually both ended up having roughly equal spawns when it came to inaccessibility. Good to go at the workshop. Good play. I probably would have gone to the fruit in this case, as sure you want to head to the center as much as you can, but you don't. We already see that there's a coastline right over here, whereas you have these fruit. I probably would have considered. Yeah, cannot see the game. Oh, thank you. We're gonna hide paint. So in this game, here's the starting spawns. Let's see, can't see the picture. Yeah, there we go, got it fixed. So I think in this one, it was, you took a gamble that you could continue to go down here to the coast, but with continents, you really have to try to read coastlines. It's very unlikely for coastlines to wave back and forth. Hi, How much stream did I miss? Just one game so far. It was an IMO versus barter game. It's actually this one right over here. This one was played by Sparky. Sparky and myself. So yeah, in this instance, Sparky had a very rough start with these mountains blocking his path, and then this warrior took a gamble and it ended up going in the wrong direction. And I'm gonna say gamble. I'm not saying it made a mistake. It was a gamble. It was a high-risk gamble because there's no resources in this direction, but it was a gamble nonetheless. Yeah, so in this case, as IMO, had everything I would have liked. Now, this is actually an interesting formation. We have these three mountains and water. I actually think that the Polytopia spawning algorithm should really consider these sort of mountains as actual gameplay stuff. And because if they balance the maps in a specific way, saying, hey, we've got mountain passes and add that like that, where there's 2 mountain passes on each side, using that sort of advantage, it makes Shinshi even stronger when it comes to that sort of thing, because then they can just traverse that part of the map without any worries. But that's a thing I'd have to make my own demo to try to see would it actually work. But yeah, so just spawning wise, Barter had a very slow start, which allows IMO to do exactly what they need to do, and that is very safely go to the pacifist monument and then have their explosive turn on turn 5. I would love to see a map with smarter mountains generation like Lines of Mountain Ranges. Yes, I would definitely love to see that. What would you think of Impassable Mountains as a game mechanic? No. I don't think Impassable would be interesting, as the game has to end at some point. And in order for the game to end, you need to reduce how many impassable terrain effects are inside of it. Because there's only so much knights can do. There's only so much, really every single unit can do. If you're given the proper spawn, even nowadays, it is possible to have an impenetrable defense if the water and the villages spawn perfectly. So just be aware that the game does need to end at some point. So a perfectly impassable thing, I don't think would be healthy for the game. I do think a smarter map generation would. Barter gets a beautiful explore off, being able to see everything that's going to be going on my end. So now we can switch away from shared. So Barter's able to see everything, and they have very limited resources here as well, only to get to level 3, and then that's basically it. Make a very aggressive play. Probably be able to get that kill. I mean, the kill helps secure this village. and then decides to go with the even more aggressive play to siege. Now, I can't actually say that that's a terrible play, but it does deny you capturing this city. So that is a trade-off that I'm assuming you're saying that it's worth it, where if you could prevent me from getting a giant, or waste my time having this swordsman just run backwards and kill this rider, that actually makes perfect sense to just waste my time, because then the swordsman's not moving forward. That's actually not a terrible play. The issue is I did have the resources to get a giant, so I could just do a very safe giant push. So again, this is another gamble. I'm gonna say gamble, not mistake. But this is now a second gamble that did not pan out the way you wanted it to. And the more gambles you end up making like that, the more it's gonna slow down your early game. So you're gonna do what you can to try to kill that swordsman. Don't forget. Oh yeah, so right over here, you end up letting the swordsman live. 1, 2, 3, 4. You actually can kill this swordsman by building 2 more roads, and I think that's what you really needed to do. This rider all the way over here needs to road forward. Because at this point, I mean, you get to see exactly what ends up happening is this swordsman, since it's allowed to live, is now also allowed to heal. So, what else did the stars get spent on? So you actually do have enough stars at this point in order to road forward and kill the swordsman. So I think at this point, I mean, let's be fair. This is a live game, so mistakes are very easy to happen. But it's more of if we pinpoint these mistakes, you then know what to look out for future games, and it will improve your it will improve your performance in future games. But yeah, at this point, you needed to secure the kill on this swordsman, and that would have slowed me down greatly. Because now I'm just going to move my swordsman back. He gets to heal, and I get to start moving my units over here. And here's didn't want to do it. I saw that. Didn't want to do it. I saw that after. Yeah, that's fine. But now we have the issue of, we have this giant that's on this mountain, and it is completely blocking off your only path. That is one way to consider that this is your only path to get into the center of the map, but we also got to remember that this is a continents game. What you may want to consider, which I think you end up going, is pick up mathematics, set up a couple of catapults right over here, and then let's quickly transition into sailing and get onto the water. Because if the mathematics isn't to be aggressive and start sieging me, the mathematics is to say, look, you can't push into my territory. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get onto this water and attack you through the water this way. So we're going to go ahead and improve our economy. Get those resources. Move the rider on forward. Population growth. We're actually going to go ahead and switch to Sparky's vision only. That way we can move the replay, because we already saw the game from my view. If you want to watch it, you'll definitely want to watch it on the stream replay. So these riders are going to zip on forward to kill off your unit. And this giant is actually being very defensive. Now that's actually probably appropriate, because this giant needs to do what it does best, which is be a very big body. But this is a passive position, whereas if you ended up putting right here in the front and then just prevented me from, I don't know, maybe it was the better spot. The other spot would be considered just right here onto this plains tile, because you don't have archery, so it's not like you're getting a defense bonus. But you're just trying to prevent this giant from sneaking in, which is kind of the important part right over here. So you're going to continue to throw units in. The issue about throwing units into a giant is if they can't kill the giant, you need to be able to either kill it next turn or assume that you're okay with it healing up. So right over here, I do a siege play where I'm saying, hey, you have to use your giants in order to unsiege. I got these little screws that I'm just playing with. I need you need to spend your turn unsieging with this giant, which is going to prevent you from spawning units on here, or you end up getting a monument plus mathematics. And then do a giant push right over here. Do we have it? We have Metropolis. The Metropolis was used right over here on the front city. So the answer is actually no, and we're nowhere close towards the killer monument. That's rough. Yeah, so you're forced to take this kill, and then you're going to continue to throw in riders at this point. And this is a... If you're going to throw in riders, you need to have, I think in this case, 14 riders for a giant on a mountain. Because you need 10 riders in order to kill a giant from start to finish, and all the riders need to be healthy. Maybe the last rider could be a little weak, but you need 10 riders to kill an undefended giant. You need 14 to kill a giant with a defense bonus. I think. I could have the math wrong. But if you keep throwing these riders in turn after turn, this giant's just going to heal, and it's going to increase the number of units you have to throw in exponentially. So you went from having to throw in 42 stars worth of units to 60 stars. And then the giant still ended up not getting killed at the very end. So I think the last thing is save up these riders until the giant moves to the space right over here, and then at that point you'll probably have closer to 10 riders to kill the giants off. Or if I don't push forward, then you can consider picking up sailing and getting onto the water safely. So I think that's where the game could have turned differently in your part. So you did have a really rough start. You lost the gamble because of how these mountains ended up spawning. We had a very rough land bridge right over here that you had to fight over, and you still ended up doing a pretty good job. But yeah, at the end, threw away you ended up throwing away a few too many stars. That one was a pretty good game. Alrighty. So at this point, we're gonna just take a quick little water break. And let's see if we got anybody else who wants to do a challenge. Yeah, yes, but I could not accept you getting the most of the map. That's very true. That is very true. You would have had more to the map if you picked up sailing, though. Hydration break. Alright, that's work. Cymanti beer, tiny, 24 hours. Top 3 tribes. So the top 3 tribes are... We're gonna just go to new game right over here. I've actually not done the single player on my PC version. I think I did a quick Shinshi, River and Priests. So the top 3 tribes, first and foremost, you have Barter. Barter is most certainly going to be the best tribe of the game because of their very strong early game. Followed up by, it could be a lot. If it wasn't for the fact that Cymanti is so heavily countered by riders, you would consider Cymanti to be a top tribe. But Cymanti gets countered pretty easily just because of riders, and it's really hard to do anything about it. Well, I guess it depends on top 3 tribes. It really depends on your topic, because the easiest tribes that end up performing on average the best is going to be Barter, Imperious, against most of the community, Cymanti, and An honorable mention of Kiku and Zabazi, but they're a tad bit slower. River Priests Waterworld. No thank you. The best tribes for Waterworld is Saimanti and Kiku and Polaris. Those are the real only 3 tribes you could be playing on Waterworld. And notice I'm not saying Aquarion. Aquarion's actually not that great on the water maps. Alrighty. So, I mean, we have Sparky that's issuing another challenge, but if someone wants to issue a challenge as well, so that way we can kind of just share the attention, go for it. We're just Tolby. Quetzali do. Quetzali's not good on Waterworld because they're too slow. How do I issue a challenge? So, Bikini Bro, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to friend me on... for my PC version, you're going to look up Tolby. There's going to be 2 of them. There's going to be one of them with a more horizontal rectangular box, and there's going to be the mobile, which is the vertical box that looks like an iPhone. You're going to want to friend up the PC version and then send me a game by going to New Game, Online, Might, Set up dry land, lakes, continents, or if you're feeling daring, archipelago. We're going to do small in live game. Sebastian the Killer. Hey. We're going to go ahead and decline River and Priests for now. But yeah, definitely send me... if you want to do it, I'm okay. I'm perfectly fine doing 24-hour games, but you'll want to send it to me on the mobile version of the game, which I've got a few games going on already. The list actually used to be longer. I'm trying to reduce it down, but once again, we're Tolby, and I have a lot more games on the mobile version. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick bathroom break, and then when we get back, we're going to get started in the new game. Alrighty. Let's see. Move this over just a little bit. Oh, we're gonna get caught up really fast. So we have the Monsoon of Kings from Sebastian the Killer. This is a normal-sized map, which I'm okay with normal-sized, but those games typically last about 45 minutes or longer. And we're really looking for faster games, but let's see. Let's get caught up. I'm going to need the computer version, or can I do for mobile? Wait, did he reject my friend request? I hope I didn't. Sebastian the Killer? Yeah. Let's see. Does not matter. No. I did not. Yeah, you're right here, Sebastian the Killer. How much different is Kiku from other Turn 0 tribes? Is the early access to sailing that much peculiar? So I think what you're referring to is it that big of a deal for them to start off with fishing? It can be. So it's a normal sized game again. So if we look at, I'm gonna really quickly start a Infinity Zero Dryland Tiny. So Kiku is interesting as they actually have some pretty decent. We're gonna go ahead and pick up Organization just to show it. Kiku actually has some really decent resources within their starting borders. They've got good farming locations, they have a decent amount of trees, and of course they have an abundance of fish. So on any map that has water, they actually have a pretty decent. We're gonna go ahead and turn the music off just for a moment. They've actually got a pretty decently strong economy. The issue is they spread off in too many directions when it comes to that economy. But because they don't have to pick up fishing, it's a lot easier for them to pick up sailing, which means it's easier for them to get onto the water. The only issue with getting onto the water is if you don't have a strong enough economy, it's almost too expensive. Alrighty. Yeah, let's try to avoid Tiny, because Tiny is really, it comes down to who had a better spawn. Unless you're Symancy, then it's just, if you know how to play Symancy right, you're going to win. That's really one of the only moments where Symancy's overpowering. But yeah, so, very good on, yeah. Kiku is very, Kiku is very strong on any sort of water-based map. They're not overpowered, but they are definitely keep up with Barter in terms of strength. Whereas Barter is the superior Drylands tribe. Alrighty, there we go. Do we have any tribe requests? Everyone was kind of voting for random last time. People are asking for Kiku. Do y'all want me to go ahead and try playing Kiku? Forgot, this is a continents? Yeah, so this is a continents. If that matters for any of y'all, this is a continent-based map. Polaris. I'm okay with playing Polaris. Is it true that Kiku has more whales near its border than other tribes? Maybe. I'd actually have to look that up. Let's see. So, Polytopia spawn. Map generation. So you actually can see the exact formulas that's used for, well, not the formulas, but the probability that every tribe has for resources. So if we look at Kiku, no, Kiku do not have an increased chance of having whales, but they have an increased chance of creating water in Kiku territory. And since there's more water, there's technically a greater chance of whales. Yadok would barter. Yadok would be quite fun. Symancy turn 1, star or exploring? You want to go for star jet? Well, it depends on the map. If you're playing on a tiny map, you explore. If on pretty much any other map type, you go with Workshop for the star production. Alright, well, I'm not seeing any tribe that's necessarily dominating in the votes, so we're going to go ahead and click random. Hey, Jack, we can play after this one. Alright, so here we are on this live one. We are going to be playing as Aquarion. Aquarion always suffers because of their early game economy. Do I go north or do I follow the fruit? We're going to follow the fruit. We're going to end the turn. So this is where Aquarion suffer. Oosh. Shinshi versus Aquarion, and they're already saying hello. And they're going to pick up some ruins. If they get a Schwarzman, I don't think there's anything I could do to win. I'm not going to lie. Ooh, boy. We're going to go ahead and hunt. 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 We're going to go workshop and pass the turn. So notice, like, this is the... How do I do this? Go over here, bop, bop, move over here to unveil the cloud and secure the kill. Couldn't have gone worse. So not only am I not getting a starting city, so because if I don't do that kill right there, Shinshi is gonna just move this swordsman onto this mountain right here, hit with the warrior, and then secure the siege with the Schwarzman, and after that it's essentially game over. I need to respect the possibility that they have a warrior here hiding in the clouds, so we're not going to head over to this village. I kind of want to pick up climbing just so I go for these ruins and also try to high roll, but that is not consistent. I think I have to, though. Yeah, we're going to go climbing, so we're going to try to get this vision. Yep, so there's the warrior, and we're going to go ahead and grab that, grab another warrior, and pass. We're going to pass the turn. Couldn't have gone any worse. Yep. Well, so the nice thing about ruins on top of mountains is because of the explore mechanic, this is how ruins work. It's not going to be an explorer here, so we're not going to waste this ruin on that. What it's probably going to do is give us fishing. Nope. Beautiful! We get pops so we can get a resource bonus. Very much needed. We're going to just train another warrior, and then we're going to pass the turn. Oh, this one's rough. Move down over here, just get this vision, try to find more. Pick up forestry. Lumber hots. Lumber hots. Lumber hots. Lumber hots. If I expand the borders, I take territory away from my opponent. Then I can't get a crab. I'm gonna go for early crab. No more random. Maybe. I mean, random's always fun. You never... It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Gonna end the turn. Believe it or not, this is the best I can do. It's a lot of warriors coming my way. Ooh. Could you accept my friend request on phone? Yeah, I can do that. Alrighty. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick up mathematics. Then we're gonna go ahead and place down the sawmill. 1, 2. Super unit. Go ahead and kill this warrior off. And that swordsman. This is rough. They have mining. It's not over yet. It kind of is, but we're going to keep fighting until I actually know that I've lost. Move over here, retreat a warrior, pass the turn. So at this moment, I just need units. There you go. There you go, Sparky. Friend request accepted. Okay. I'm in danger. Warrior. In the turn. Yeah. Alrighty. Oh man. Well, that was a rough spawn. That swordsman was the end of me. If only I could have trained something else. That would have been great. Alrighty. Well played. If that wasn't a swordsman, I would have been okay. Well played. Dang. Alrighty. Let's take a quickly look. So is there anything else I could have done a little bit more optimally that game? Let's set this right over here. Well, that could have gone better. Oh boy, on a tiny map. Hey, Jack, you got any requests? Because on tiny, I'm okay with tiny, but it's gonna be a very fast game. I did it. I went ahead and accepted the game. I'm gonna go ahead and just play random, but I'm gonna be focusing on the stream right now. Yeah, thanks for the game. That one was man. I definitely feel cheated with that the Schwartzman. Polaris or Cymanti? Alright, so shared fog. So, this is a very tough exchange at this current point. Because we really just need to move on to the village. I really was hoping to get a different village here in the back. We go ahead and get that level up for more economy. Veteran swordsman. That is the best way for me to prevent the swordsman from just running my units over. Because at this point, I don't want my units to just get killed off. So he moves the swordsman forward just to get that vision. So we likewise are able to see they can secure the kill. I mean, I could do Yadak. I could do Yadak on Tiny. I got a pretty good ruins as well. Those pops really helped. If it was for that, I wouldn't have been able to get to the crab. But in this case, I couldn't claim any of my villages. That swordsman. Yeah, that was just a rough game. All right, I've got, let's see, Polaris or Cymanti. All right, quick votes in the chat. Let's see, Swordsman was the MVP of that match. Yes, 100% was. Why did you become vendor last time? Oh, in the last time we were doing these really quick 1v1s is because if we're gonna be picking really mainstream stuff, then I'll follow suit. But you know, the tiny games are very one-dimensional. Duzabazi, Yadak Hoodrig, Centipede. I've got a lot of votes for Yadak and Cymanti right now. So what would people see, Yadak or Cymanti? How's it going, Jaybird? You want a duel? Yeah, we can do a duel. I prefer on small maps. We're gonna do a quick tiny one. Everyone's gonna kind of see why Cymanti is mean. Cymanti cheat code on Tiny Dry. It's actually more of a cheat code on Tiny Continents. I won't stream snipe, don't worry. Hey! Fun guy. Gonna move back. We could have the little duel of having our shamans kind of dance, but at this moment, it's more important to keep our shamans alive. Do I really need to explore? Helps. Explore really helps, but I'm gonna be extra greedy. Boost. I love Cymanti. Well, I'm glad somebody does. go ahead and bring this guy back. Warrior. We're gonna boost. This is how I play Cymanti. This is not like Cymanti is actually very skillful. There are so many different potential openings you could do with Cymanti, and honestly, I think is the makings of just a really good try. What the heck is this? Pick up climbing. I don't feel guilty at all. Cool. Yep, so he's gonna go ahead and convert. Fungi. Gonna train a warrior. Pass the turn. Beautiful forge spot. Yes! We're gonna do a big forge. We're gonna go ahead and get resources, as walls are basically useless against Cymanti. Go ahead. Boost. Move forward. Get big hit. I think I've actually lost all these trades and exchanges, not gonna lie. Hexapod, we're gonna pass the turn. So the reason why I was kind of being hesitant on Hexapod is because what they could do right now is this Hexapod with climbing can go ahead and kill my Shaman. I'm okay with this, as I think this game is essentially over. Yeah, the game's over. Alrighty. Yep, it's a Shaman trade. We're gonna go over here. Bop, bop, bop. I just want to see what's back here. We're gonna go ahead and heal. Or we're gonna claim. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a warrior. Fungi. And heal up. The importance of this is I have an extra village my opponent does not. So sure, they have this really annoying hexapod I can't really deal with at this immediate moment. But what I could do this upcoming turn is I can make a defensive play with this warrior. We're gonna do an explore. Move you back. We're trying a hexapod. Move you forward. Train a hexapod. And pass the turn. Yeah, my opponent already had climbing. That was the whole reason why my Shaman was able to die. It's going to be going for the very fast Centipede. Okay, we're going to just start forcing moves of our opponent. We're going to do a hexapod there. We're going to go ahead and move our hexapod over here. Hexapod. And I'm just going to keep our warrior at this location. Because right now, their hexapod is at this spot. So we are fine. Actually, I'd also move right over here. Pass the turn. Gonna go over here, bop bop. Run over here, bop bop bop, and bop bop. We're gonna train a warrior because his hexapod's right here, ready to seize your capital. And that does it. All right, good game, Jackknife. Like, unless you somehow are gonna be able to do a big centipede push right here, which you should have done it last turn. But yeah, that's the game. Can I finish getting that centipede? I cannot. Alrighty, we're gonna go ahead and finish that. Can I play against you? I believe I have someone else. Jaybird is next. We're playing on small maps. But yes. And I definitely just want to double check the replay to just because I want to verify that that centipede was right on that last tile that I said it was going to be on. Oh, you sold it. Oh, what? Oh, whoa. There's a ruins back there and he got a veteran swordsman. Now that's scary. I mean, I wasn't wrong. It was technically on the tile. That, okay. I was not expecting that. Alrighty, I will be right back. I need to take care of something, and we'll get the next game started in just a moment. If I need to accept friend requests, we will. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright, we have Stellar Viper 11. I think we've played actually before. Could you accept the mobile game? I did, but I'm definitely focusing on the stream right now. I will definitely take my turn pretty much right as soon as the stream is over, Sparky. Alrighty, so it is currently, we're about an hour and a half in. If we want anybody, let's see, Jaybird, yeah, go ahead and send me. Let's try to keep it to a small game, as they're not too short, they're not too long. I mean, they can sometimes be an hour long, but it's a lot more plausible to at least finish the game when it's small. I can do normals, but I have had a normal game end up going 2 hours long, so rather not. Whereas the longest a small game typically can go to is about an hour, and that's where everyone's near the all the in-game text. Why don't you make it? I can. I can make it. Let's see. So, me, if I make it, I'm gonna be playing on lakes. Lakes, small life game, and gotta re-enable all the tribes. Mijiwan, make it to where I can re-enable everything a lot easier, please. It should. So what I would like to have is a button like up here in the top corner to like enable tribes, so that way I can click that and then I can just click all the windows. Because since there's 16 tribes, about to be 17 soon, yeah, in order to enable and disable tribes, it takes a long time. Alrighty, so let's see, we're going to be playing against Jaybird on a small lakes. We just played as Simanti, so I think right now the last vote right now is Yadak. Are people wanting to see a Yadak game, I'm assuming? We can do Yadak. Okay, turning off stream now. Good luck, Jake. I'm gonna go ahead and pick Yadak for this one. And let's see. Assuming it's gonna be Jaybird. Let's see. So it's gonna take some time. Alright, so here we are. We're gonna go ahead and jump into this small lakes game. I am going to be playing as Yadak. I don't know what Jay's gonna end up playing, but that's okay. They went ahead and disabled the stream, so that way they're not gonna snipe. We're gonna actually go onto this one right over here. Let's see. Have you ever thought about making a mega game with something like 4 players? I've actually considered something like that. And okay. Oh, fun times were had. Thought about making a mega game with something like 4 players. So I'm okay with really large games, and I used to join the large games on Reddit all the time. We're gonna go ahead and pick up organization, and we definitely need to get our front city defended up. But I usually end up quitting those near the end, as it's just I can't spend an hour on a turn. I've got too many other things that's going on. And if y'all want to see videos or me doing live streams and all that, I can't be stuck playing an hour on a single turn for a game. It can be fun, but yeah, it's just managing time a little better. So if I end up ever doing the really large games, they're actually going to be on Glory. So I don't normally play Glory for the most part, but when you're on a really massive, like 4+ or a 16-player free-for-all, Glory actually ends up working really well. We're going to go ahead and move out over this way. And we're going to go on the road here, harvest fruit, and I'm going to do an explore. I really actually want to fight Cymanti now. Okay, so they're not there. We're gonna end the turn. And it's also that I don't enjoy them. It's just, again, it's just about time. I have actually considered trying to host my own multiplayer game, but it'd be one with special rules where it's supposed to be intended like Glory, but I would be calling it Ascension, where it's to try to make temples a little bit more useful, where players, they can still be eliminated, but when you build temples, you build up points, and once you get enough, you ascend, and technically you get like first place and all that. This is like really specific knowledge, but is there a way to predict how a unit will move multiple times when on roads? Sort of. For example, how to predict what fog tiles might be unveiled by how it moves on a tile. Which, it's always going to follow the shortest distance traveled. We're going to build a road here to level up our capital to get a workshop. We're also then going to go ahead and get some of this fruit here to get another workshop. And we're going to end the turn here. So what we're going to do next turn is I'm going to level up my capital to level 3. We're going to specifically at least get this fruits, because we've got a really good sawmill location. But I need riders. My opponent is right here. They don't have vision. Yes, he can siege me, but that's only if they have vision. They did not have vision of me. So we're gonna fruit, fruit, resources, writing, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna go and train a rider over here, warrior. We're gonna go to this city in the turn. Alrighty. So there's the first. We're going to be building 2 roads and then more riders. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dang. So there's Cymanti. Road. Road. Pop. Run you back. We're going to train a warrior. Rider. Fighter. Warrior. At this point, I just need units. 2 riders and 2 roads will fully deprive you stars. Right, so, but now we're going to show exactly why riders and roads are the counter to Cymanti. Ooh, they have climbing. And it's just, the riders are more mobile than the Cymanti units. And there's not much Cymanti could do about it. I'd like to pick up this village over here if I could. It's a really far stretch goal, but I don't think that's happening. At this point, I just need units. We're going to train a singular road. We're going to build a singular road. Go over here. This rider's going to go over here. Bop, bop. Rushing on over this way. This rider's going to go here. Warrior's going to go here. Ooh, city. And so So if here, 1, 2, 3. Man, this lake is in a very inconvenient location. So are these mountains. Rider, 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 rider. And next turn I can focus on my economy again. Don't you love it when you train roads? Yes. I love training roads. Ooh, he's relying on the fact that I don't have climbing. Which is not good enough. But also notice, so unless it's boosted, hexapods cannot one-shot warriors with the defense bonus, which is why we're training, of course, why we're training warriors here on the front city. Run over here, bop it bop. Don't run you in that direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna run over here, secure the kill. That's their capital. We're gonna train another warrior. I'm gonna focus on my economy. Harvest fruit. Why am I leveling up this one when it's just most likely going to be sieged again? Actually, it's not going to be sieged on this turn. Workshop. Dang, I don't have enough. Dang. Miscounted. And run you forward. Run you forward. Just get a claim. Just live game shenanigans. Look out for big. I'm assuming centipedes. They don't have the proper economy for that yet. They're still on level 3. I'm assuming you're a goalie fan. I mean, who here wouldn't be a goalie fan? A lot of us are probably here because of goalie. He's gonna get a siege, that's fine. I mean, at this point, I can just continue to spam riders, but I want to improve my economy ever so slightly. Yeah. I'm gonna go here, bop it a bop, run here, secure this kill, run it back. Just gonna go over to here, run this over to here. We're gonna secure this kill. We're gonna run over here, we're gonna secure this kill. Should have trained a warrior. I was gonna say they can't road. Oh wait, but their shaman can't boost it this turn. Alright, so we're just gonna train riders. At this point, we're gonna follow the tried and true formula of you just build riders. And this is why riders, I know I've seen posts where people are like, aha, riders can't counter. Yes, no, riders are the counter to Cymancy. There we go. That does it. Let's see. Good analysis on the Midgy1 channel. Thank you. I had a lot of fun doing that. Sadly, I had camera issues, and it was so choppy, it was unsalvageable. So that's why we went with my icon. The Big Bird, he is the one that ended up doing all of the editing, and they did a fantastic job in all of it. So definitely give him a check out. Let's see. Play with me. My name is Felipe. I just added you. I'm a girl. Okay. Shaman's gonna go over there for a cheeky convert, but we're just gonna kill the shaman this upcoming turn. 1, 2, 3,
irrelevant information. Trust. Yeah, pretty much. And I think at this point, we actually just close out this game. So we're just going to go here. Bop-a-da-bop. Let's go ahead and secure this kill. We're going to go to this village all the way over here. And... just road. 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 The Grand Bazaar. Road. Running all the way over here. Killer Monument. Bop-a-da-bop. Run it over here. Run this over here. Bop-a-da-bop. This over here. Bop-a-da-bop. Run over here. Bop-a-da-bop. Run over here. They can unsiege, but at this point, we're just running over our opponent. Because riders just outrange the hexapods because the roads. There you go. So that is a typical Yadek versus Cymanti game. Now, let's also be fair. Cymanti did not have the greatest spawn in this location. There's their capital versus mine. This city right over here actually should have been theirs. But, yeah. It ended up being a very tough point. We actually had these mountains, but Cymanti went with climbing to try to find those mountains a little bit sooner. I don't know. For the benefit of Yadek, you get to out-expand your opponent with the roads as well. So not only will we be able to be outrange our opponents and be extremely aggressive against them. Here we go. Not only could we be extra aggressive against them, but let's just take a quick glance at the replay just to try to show off what I'm talking about. Yeah, I went bottom too late, pretty much. So at this moment, gets the level, workshop, train the warrior. Okay, so you go with the warrior boost strategy. Either that or you decided that's what I do, so that's to do. Can't really ever say if that is the correct thing, but the tricky part is you've got these trees here, so it's going to make it difficult for you to actually expand downwards. But in all of this time, look at this. Me as Yadek, I've already expanded to a quarter of the map, and I'm about to be roading forward really, really quickly everywhere I need to go. And Yadek's economy doesn't really suffer from all of that. So you're going to go ahead and get the appropriate riding technology. So this is all actual, like, typical textbook Cymanti stuff. Secure the kill. Yep. Yeah, this is how Yadek plays. Is if you road appropriately, you get your first cities within just a couple of turns really quickly. Secure the kill. Good plays right over here. So this over here, you're doing pretty much what you need to do. But you may need to consider technology to... that was the one turn you were passive. So I killed this because I thought you were going to be following up here in the center. But you're actually building up for a large attack here. Not bad. You go over there, secure the kill. But notice, like, remember, hexapods can't kill warriors on cities, so you're using extra resources for that. Yeah, I had to keep trying to put pressure, but I didn't know how you had so many places. Yeah. This is Yadek, Yadek at its finest. And some people probably can still play Yadek better than me. Most likely, actually. So you did the correct thing, and you siege with the warrior, make it more difficult. Make me spend extra resources. Your hexapods need to be killing off my riders, because at this point, I can easily, and we can see here, I can just road on forward and kill off these hexapods. So they're no longer doing what they need to do, and at this point, the game is essentially over. But, so when you go this boost strategy, you're actually about a turn slower, but it is safer for the shaman to be expanding that way. The issue is, if you're playing against a really fast, aggressive tribe, it's really hard for Cymanti to catch up. Yadek is really just the perfect, counter to Cymanti. Omaji is a great counter too. Oh, there we go. I actually may... So, we'll play one more game. Let's see. We had Stellar Viper asking for the game next, and then we'll follow up with... what is their name? I don't know how to pronounce that. Felipe? But Stellar wants to do it on a small lakes, so this one is going to be really fast. I've been having someone ask for Polaris. I mean, Polaris isn't really great on tiny maps, but I could do Polaris if y'all want. Or I can also just click random and see how that goes. Maybe we'll go random into Aquarion again. This is going to be on a tiny lakes map, so this is, even though it's lakes, it's going to be a very fast game. And I already played Cymanti. I don't want to play Cymanti on a tiny map. It feels too evil. I'm also probably not going to... I'd rather not pick Illyrion unless it's random. Illyrion's also a little too powerful on... I have one vote for random. We're just going to wait a little bit longer. Illyrion, no! Imo. Hoodrick. I already had a... I got a second vote for Illyrion. Oh, man. Are y'all just wanting to see how Illyrion's supposed to play? Illyrion is really powerful on Tiny. Umaji. Hi, I'm back. Welcome back, Illion. We're probably going to end up playing... Yes, but I already did it. Alright, we're going to go ahead and play Illyrion. So, let's see. So, my apologies. Yeah, I finished getting... Alright, my turn. I honestly don't think Shen is bad on Tiny Dry. Rider Roads, less needed, and Swordsmen are powerful. I wanted Illyrion last time, right? Wow, this is like the worst possible spawn I could have as Illyrion. Chance Animal, we're going to train a warrior, pass the turn. Mount Vision can almost replace need for Explore. That part is true, so you get to save on resources that way. We're going forward just a little bit. Pass the turn. Alrighty, so we're actually going to move up here to just try to expand and claim as many villages as possible. Ooh. This is going to allow us to go forestry. Yeah, I'm going to pick up forestry. We're not going to attack. There's no reason to. Now, typically when I play Illyrion, I love the Sanctuary plays, but on a tiny map, there's not really enough time to be building up Sanctuaries. So we're just going to go down. Dang. So we're going to go into Capture, and we're going to get this Lomberhot level for a workshop, try to improve our economy. What's good with the Kiku spawn? Kiku actually has good resources. Despite being known as the water tribe, where like, oh, they go for boats, Kiku's actually pretty decent on dry lands. They're not as good as barter because you only can get the level with the turn 0 capital with the fish on your capital city. But since they still have great resources, they're actually still pretty competent on dryland maps. And that's saying something, so... Let's see. Show down the order differently on that. Alright. So, Stellar Viper is going to go ahead and go with the tried and true riders in order to try to deal with my Illyrian front. I'm going to want to pick up these ruins. Go ahead and capture the city. Grab a warrior. Oof, this one's actually not that great of a spawn for me. We're gonna enchant an animal right here and pass the turn. I need to improve my economy just a little bit more. I could definitely improve my economy with a sanctuary here at this city, but then I can't level up my capital, which is not that great. Suppose I could build another sanctuary at this location. If this wasn't a live game, I'd be much more willing to do sanctuaries. But sanctuaries are... they're difficult on live games. Mathematics. Go for a quick dragon. One, two... 3, maybe. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up organization. Chance animal. Lumber hot. Harvest fruit. Lumber hot. We're gonna grab those resources. We're gonna secure this kill. Move over. Enchant animal. Lumber hot. Harvest fruit. This is a very greedy play. Now, do I like to get that workshop? Really want that workshop. Oh man, and then the explorer went the wrong direction. I should have gone with the greedy workshop. Why did the explorer go that way and not towards this tile? That's rough. We're gonna enchant this animal. Lumber hots. Lumber hots. Workshop. Get over here and hit the rider. So just want to reduce the rider as much as I possibly can. Bring you over here, bring you over here, bring this Polytopia over here, and let's train another warrior. It'd be great if I could get riders and roads. Sure as I'm behind. Yeah, I really need riders and roads. At least riders. Archery is also a pretty decent choice too, but because I went with the strategy I don't prefer, which is the lumber route, I just need to go with the tried and true riders.
Alright, level 3. What the heck? That's weird. Did I accidentally click exit, I guess? Must have. Trainer Rider here. Do it. Trainer Rider. Trainer Rider. Do it. Okay, gonna train riders. One over there, one over there. Autobot, we'll secure this kill. I'm gonna go down. There's actually no good spot for me to train a rider right now. I should not have moved this Polytopia to my city. I should have moved it to this tile right here. That was a massive misplay. Alright, well we're going to train a rider back here. I should train a warrior. What am I thinking? I may need to grab some water. So now they're going to siege here. And then all they have to do is kill this Polytopia and I'm just in danger. Oh man. Yep. So there's the siege. Oh man, I should have trained a warrior. Why did I not train a warrior? Train a rider here. I think Aquarion should spawn with an amphibian rider. Maybe? Then they'd be OP on Waterworld. I don't think so. I really don't think Aquarion would be overpowered on Waterworld. Game shouldn't be balanced around Waterworld. The game should not be balanced around Waterworld. Waterworld was released as a joke similar to Drylands, except Drylands was actually accepted as a decent map type. Alright, well while we're waiting for my turn, I'm going to open up the downloads folder. Alright, so, I looked away. What happened? What? Why? Interesting. So you let me keep it. Move there, move there, move there. Rider, heal, warrior. Let's see. That's really all I can do. We're just gonna save up on our time. Should have just captured there. Illyrion, not that OP. I thought I won last Illyrion Luxdor game against you. Illyrion can be really, really strong. I just ended up getting a really bad spawn. And then I'm also not going with the typical Illyrion strategy I like going with, which is focusing on sanctuaries. Because notice I just went lumber huts everywhere. Which is the tried and true rather method for playing as Illyrion. But I don't like it. I prefer doing a more Zerg Rush strategy with sanctuaries, but it requires a lot of time, patience, and practice. Because sanctuaries spawn an animal every other turn, so you can min-max it, but if you don't min-max it, you're really just falling behind in almost every category throughout the entire course of the game. Interesting. That's my way too. Yeah, I find Illyrion way more fun that way. Is there not a village over here? There's gotta be no village over here. Alright, we're gonna go and secure this kill. We're gonna go ahead and secure this kill. We're gonna go, bop-a-bop-a-bop. Retreat you over. Bop-a-bop. Retreat you over. And just warrior. Warrior. Rider. Pass the turn. Secure the kill. Cool. I mean, they're securing the kills, but I'm building up economy. I don't think my opponent is. I don't know what their goal is right here, right now. Otherwise, you play worse barter, pretty much. Alright, so that's a kill right there. Are you gonna siege? I think they're trying to pressure me. I mean, they're trying to pressure me, but they should have captured the city a few turns ago. They would have had a much stronger lead at this point, instead of letting me slowly make a comeback. Because I'll show you how you're supposed to apply pressure. So here's how you apply pressure. We're going to go ahead and pick up roads. And at this point, what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and build one road here. Just bring this warrior over. We're going to bring this warrior back. Warrior. Bop-a-bop-a-bop. Get back. Bop-a-bop. Hey, that's Killer Monument. That's really big for me. Bring it back over here. Rider. Gates of Power. Resources. Rider. Bring it over here. Run it on back. Look at a road. Bring it on foot over here. Bop, bop, bop. I'm gonna accept this rider is dead. So we're just gonna protect this other rider. They're actually starting to train a whole bunch of warriors. Oh, they got a giant. Yeah, there's not much I can do about that. Every tribe is a barter. So, because they're doing okay, but this city is worth no stars. And sure, in this tiny game, that's kind of a big deal, but I have riders to clear it off. They should have just captured the city when they had the chance, and then just starved me out at that point. At this point, they've given me a chance to make a comeback. How many kills you got? Ooh, that's a veteran. They're going to continue to make city connections. Road over here, bop, 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 bop. We're going to road you on back, secure this kill. Let's go ahead and veteran you up. Run you all the way back over here, heal you up.
I'm gonna road you forward just to get in the way over here and get a little bit of exploration. Over to warrior. Warrior, rider. Fast turn. Fishing, farming, egg. So an egg is okay, but it doesn't help get me out of any of this spot that we're currently in. We'd have to accept the trade. Math farming egg? Considering it, but math is expensive. Because egg doesn't give me anything now. I need answers now. Road. Road. Rider. Bop a bop. Run you back over here. Secure the kill. Road you forward. Bop it a bop. Road you back. Road you forward. Bop it a bop. I'd like to pick up strategy, but that's not happening. If only I could get city walls. Ugh. I needed an extra pop here. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and train a warrior defensively. We're also gonna go ahead and train a warrior here. Yeah, it'd be great to make a defender wall, but I can't afford that right now. How do you defeat Goliath as David? Alright, so they're gonna go ahead and get the hit off. So the better thing is to try to avoid spending resources on things you don't need. Oop, that's a sawmill and another giant. Another giant. Okay. Who is ready for a Hail Mary play? Road, road. We're gonna go over here. Road you going forward to that. You want to forward to here. Yep, so there's the giant in that location. Bop it a bop. You on over here. Bop it a bop. Road, road. Move you all the way over to here. That's a veteran boost. Cover. We're not. There's no reason for us to train a warrior. Why did you recruit a warrior in the city? Why did you recruit a warrior in the city next to the giant? Mostly to prevent riders from hitting my units and then just rushing right into the city. It's defensive. What I should have done way earlier in the game. But I didn't. Come on, take my city. Take it. Actually, I should have trained a warrior in my capital, because they actually could have done a play to siege my capital here, and I would have lost. So what the play would have been is they would have captured, they would have built a road here, they would have rushed this right over here to this spot, hit this rider, and then gone and sieged the city, and I couldn't unsiege it, so I should have trained a warrior here. Math. Yeah, not much else I could do at this point. Wrong order. I mean, they can still siege, but wrong order. All right. Rider. Sawmill. Way too late on this. Super unit. Yeah. We chain a warrior here just to buy a little time, but I'm pretty certain this game's over. Yeah, there's the giant siege. Immediately without hesitation. Yeah. Yeah, and against all these catapults, I can't break into their backline. There's nothing I can do to stop this. It was very well played. I'm going to go ahead and resign. Well played. Dang. So, where everything went wrong on that one, on that game, is definitely the... Well, for me, it's the spawn. Illyrion can perform really, really well with the Illyrion push, but these animals are just in the wrong direction. So the best thing I could do, which I did in this case, was just move forward, train an animal, and go in the back. So that way, sort of like a Luxador, you could just spread off in 3 separate directions. Which, it kind of worked out for us. We ended up losing the race to a couple of important cities. I should have definitely... This one was just a minor misplay. I should have moved this warrior first. Did I? Yeah, so I should have moved this warrior first to know that I should move 1 space adjacent to sort of support it. But I didn't. That was a tough game. Well played. Let's see. Alright, we've been streaming for a little over 2 hours now. So we're probably gonna do it for a little bit longer. I have one more person that was hoping to challenge me, so Let's see. Yep. So this one's also going to be on a tiny, so this one's going to be a fast game. I prefer small games, but we could definitely still play it on a tiny. Do we have any requests for what tribes to be playing on this last one? And then we may finish the stream with a replay analysis. So to try to support y'all in one of y'all's games. As always, there is a Discord link in the... Well, hopefully there is. Is there a Discord link in the video? That'll take you to a channel where you can send me your replay, so that way we can watch one of y'all's games and give y'all some tips. I have a vote for Omaji. Omaji could be fun on small, or tiny. Oh, they could be fun on small as well. We're gonna go ahead and play as Omaji in this one. Let's see, it's a long time ago I saw Omaji being played. Yeah. I wish I could see, like, statistics of the tribes that I play. Alrighty. Did I end up joining the wrong game? What the heck? Nah, we're gonna give everyone a fair chance. That is so strange because I definitely wow, it snuck in Jackknife to be the person we're playing against. That's silly. All right, we're gonna be playing Omaji on a Tiny Dry. Like I've got the gift that got shared. Nice. Alrighty. This one's a toughie. So what is their starting score? 515. 520, 525. They just leveled up their capital. They're either Imperious or Barter. We're gonna run over this way. We're gonna train a new rider, and then we're gonna pass the turn. So it turns out our opponent's gonna be Barter. Barter is always an excellent tribe for people to pick in really any game mode. Except Waterworld, really. We're going to go ahead and hit and retreat with our rider. And we're going to bring this rider over to here. So that way if they decide that they're going to walk onto this village, this rider can secure the kill. Really the better move is just to heal up. And then have another unit kind of getting ready to support it, but you should be trying to expand outwards instead of towards the enemy, because this is a highly contested contested spot. Why not put the rider in the fruit southeast of it for now? I wanted to put it in my borders, so that way I can heal it up even better. We're going to harvest fruit, workshop, and pass the turn. Yeah, we could have put the Peeves is bringing up that we could have put the rider here. It would have explored these 3 tiles to maybe fight into ruin, but the more important thing right now is to have units for combat. And now by simply training a rider, if whatever they decide to put onto this village, we can contest. So we're gonna go ahead and train that rider. And you know what? We're actually gonna go run over here. We're gonna hit bop 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 and retreat. So again, they can 100% just continue to heal up. That is perfectly fine. But in this case, we're exploring and giving ourselves options about how to fight this. If they want to put something over here, we can actually still kill pretty much whatever goes here. Well, I guess we can. If a 10 health, if a rider goes to this spot, we can kill it. We're gonna move all the way over here. And I'm going to actually make a very aggressive potential capture. We're going to go here, we're going to go here, and then we're just going to train 2 riders, and next turn we're going to level up this city. So this is Omaji being very aggressive. Like, notice, I've got a lot of riders. I can afford it. And now that I can no longer afford it, coincidentally, the stars perfectly lines up where I can just start leveling up my economy just fine, and then we can continue to just pump out even more riders. Because the moment that you're done training riders, you're improving your economy. This is an aggressive strategy that I like to employ. It performs really, really well on unsuspecting people. Alright, so it's going to retreat the warrior back. So what we're going to end up doing, we're going to put this rider over here. Explore. Ooh, that's a lot. We're gonna secure the kill. We'll bring this rider right over here. Ruins. Hey, that pops for plus 5 stars. Gonna bring this rider over to this location. We're gonna capture you. We're not gonna level it up just yet. Harvest fruit, workshop, and more riders. Then the real question is where does this rider go? Well, the hot climate or the cold climate wins. Very true. If we put this rider here, they can't do really any super aggressive plays against us. So we're just going to continue to play this safe, and we're about to just overrun them on the next turn. How many villages are they at? They're still only at 1. Oh no. But yeah, this is just Omaji aggression. I don't even have roads yet. It'd be great to have roads. Alright, it is finally time for us to take this village, and we're going to do it in a very aggressive manner. Oh boy, there's a rider. So these 2 riders are going to kill the warrior. One's going to go to take the village. These 2 riders are going to kill this rider. One is the weaker one is going to give me vision of their capital. The other one's going to kind of pester them right over here. So we're going to go right over here. Bob, 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 bob. Run over here. Bob, bob. You run right over to here. Bob, bob, bob. Right over here. Bob, bob. Run over. I want vision of their capital. That's a defender. And I'm actually just keep these riders here to protect this rider. We're gonna go ahead, move very aggressively with all of these riders. And at this point, it's about time to just close out the game. So there you go. That's Omaji on a tiny map. Omaji's still pretty darn good, and it would work pretty well. Yeah, no forestry either, right? I mean, everyone has to start somewhere. We could definitely give them feedback about how to improve on this sort of game, because Omaji can be very oppressive on tiny maps. For this exact reason. And it looks like there's no possible way I should be able to afford this, but you all saw it, that like the stars line up perfectly where
we could just spam out riders nearly every single turn. Our economy is actually still doing pretty good. Like, we can capture this village as long as all of your cities are producing at least 5 stars a turn. You can produce everything just fine. We're gonna go ahead and just bring you right over to here. Bring you right over here. We're gonna siege that. Capture this. Capture this. 1, 2. Workshop. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna get those resources. 1, 2. Workshop. And yeah. I'm just gonna move this right over here just for the vision. Let's see. I remember when I started to, it took me a month to figure out mountains give a vintage bonus. Yeah, that part is true. But yeah, so a couple of key points to take away from this that we'll go ahead and share, because this was just a rough game for our opponent. We're going to go ahead and do this from Barter's point of view and figure out everything that could have been done to improve upon this. And so we get to see against a very aggressive Homaji. Gets that first level. Workshop. Beautiful. And the most terrifying thing that they immediately find is, oh shoot, I already have riders. So what they end up doing on this first turn is... So what happens over here? Ah, organization. Right. So this is just a general rule for Polytopia. Don't research technology unless you're using it. Which your main goal is, like, yes, you would want to use all of the fruits, but at this point, you need a warrior. You need a warrior to defend this guy, because I was playing as if you had another warrior over here to go ahead and contest and fight off anything that I had. So now you go ahead and train a warrior, and the warrior is gonna slowly move out, and then you're gonna get that level 3 for your capital resources, and then you're gonna train riding, but you don't produce a rider. So the main general rule: don't pick up technology unless you use it. Also applies right over here, because if you end up, the situation changes on this upcoming turn, well, what if you don't need riding anymore? What if you need forestry or archery or strategy? You're probably not going to need those. You probably are going to be picking up riding anyways. But the main reason is so that way you can save for more stars for the future turns. Because if you didn't pick up organization, you could have then considered riding the following turn, or you could have trained a warrior immediately and been a little bit more aggressive on the map. Or you could have then saved for forestry, so that way you could have built these lumber huts and then did a chop play right over here. Consider mathematics, and you'd be a lot closer to actually creating a giant here, which is not impossible for Homaji to deal with, because they could just throw 10 riders at it. Because we can easily see, like, right over here, by the time that a giant would have come out, if we turn off the replay fog, I have pretty much enough riders to deal with a single giant that comes out. And I also have the economy, because if we just switch to me, I also have the economy, 18 stars per turn. That's 6 riders if I have the cities. I actually have less cities than that, so I can only make 5 riders. But I can easily be producing a lot of riders everywhere. So it's just you played against a very aggressive tribe, and you played very passively, is the main thing. So one practice, don't research technology until you use it. Because you'll end up finding that you'll have more stars on future turns to do the exact same thing you either would do, or to do a better play on the future turn. That's really the best tool tip I can give right over there.
Let's see. Oh yeah, also like Peepus Meepus brings up a good point of like took a month to figure out Mountains gave vision bonus. I've been sort of following Peepus Meepus's growth this entire time. They've come a long way. Didn't you also? Were you the one that started off rushing philosophy every single game, or was that another person? There are no villages in the north, right? Alright, so it looks like we're going to be playing against Jackknife, Cloud Glider. There you go. Don't think that was you? Okay, that was definitely somebody else then. Because I do try to help as many people on the Reddit as I can. Let's see. I don't think they've been on as much recently, which is a little sad. They got really good. They actually picked up IMO and were doing really, really well. Like, I was playing Imperious and they almost beat me. Which, like, Imperious and Illyrion, and they got in positions where they nearly beat me, which is a really huge deal. So, since we already played against Jackknife, I'm going to try to share who we're playing against. We're going to go ahead and play against Cloud Glider. It's going to be on another Tiny. Although, if you just watch my one game reviewed, Imperious vs. Cymanti, Tiny Continent, you can see how bad I was. Yes. Definitely started off bad, but you've gotten a lot better since. I'd have to... Actually, I don't know if I have that. I'd have to dig for that replay. I'm pretty certain that we have that in our chat logs. Alrighty, so this is probably going to be our last game for the day. Hey, we got more people joining the Discord. And I do have one person way early this morning that shared a replay. Quetzali versus Illyrion. I was Quetzali and resigned in the end because Illyrion had many dragons and was getting a huge naval superiority. Understanding. That was a YouTube video you made. Oh yeah, and I think I gave a whole bunch of feedback on that. There's also a replay against somebody where they tried cloak spamming me and it failed miserably. Because if you don't know how to use cloaks properly, your opponent's going to destroy it. Second thing is if your opponent knows how to fight against cloaks, they can destroy it. So this is probably going to be our last game. This is going to be a Tiny against Cloud Glider. Do we have any tribe requests? If not, I'll end up picking up a random. I'm perfectly fine with random. Quetzali! Oh boy. Hoodrick! Hoodrick's okay on Tiny. They at least have a chance to fight. Hood! I've got a second vote for Hoodrick. We got a small chat, so... Quetzali got them shields, right? So, I mean, if you know how to make a couple of very aggressive... I've actually been able to pull it off quite often in my recent streams, where I can make my aggressive defender siege. And you can show how to use them cloaks. Actually, Imperious is better at using cloaks. Believe it or not. Quetzali is... You would think Quetzali would be great, but Imperious is better. Do Quetzali. Quetzali with cloak strategy. Oh gosh. That's not going to go well, but okay. We will do what we can. Alright, Quetzali it is. This one is, it's going to be a tiny continent, so we're also on a very tiny map. We do have excellent resource vision right over here. We're going to go ahead and train that warrior past the turn. Oh man, I thought the allergies were finally done. Oh boy, and it's against Barter. This is going to go poorly, because Barter's going to race me to this village, and they're going to beat me here. Good luck. Oh yeah, no, I need it. I've already lost the first and most important race. This is probably an auto lose. Quetzal's too slow in this map. We're gonna go ahead and gain vision first. We gotta move back. I do need a better economy. We're gonna try hunting. We're gonna hunt, and workshop. First turn advantage help, right? Yeah, that does need to be addressed by Miji1, because when you play against random people, it's really hard, especially since it can be hard to remember that, hey, when you're playing on Tiny and you go first, I think when on the Tiny game I played as like Nancy, I went first, I made the move anyways. But it's really more honorable on a tiny map to pass the first turn when you're player 1. So that way your opponent gets the first move, but you have the economy advantage. This is not going well. So we're gonna go ahead and pick up forestry. Well, they're doing me the nice thing of they're improving the city level. We're gonna go ahead, level that up. I have to train a warrior. If they put the warrior here, I can kill it. Better yet, they put the warrior here, and I can kill it. Ooh, archers. Oh. You would. I don't really think there's much I can do in this situation. I'm kind of just dead. Yeah, alright. So, should have upgraded your capital first. You're not wrong. I wasn't thinking. I went into combat and then I got distracted. Yep, alrighty. That was a fun game. Yeah, that's a city siege and I can't stop it. Big sad, but don't play Quetzali on tiny maps for that exact reason. Well, that ended up being very quick, so we definitely still have time for another. Well, actually that, or I can do a replay analysis. Except, I don't think the person that shared the replay is here, because they posted it 8 hours ago. I'll probably wait until the next stream, because I think this person was here during my evening stream, so... Hey, Cloud Glider. You're wanting to do a rematch? I posted a replay. Let's see. Oh no, that was you! Actually, so yeah, we can go ahead and do a replay analysis. Yeah, that's the one. Alrighty, so we're probably going to finish this stream off doing a replay analysis to kind of give feedback on how we could have improved over here. We have a Quetzali versus Illyrion. I was Quetzali and resigned at the end because Illyrion had many dragons and was getting naval superiority. So it sounds like here you weren't able to be aggressive enough against the Illyrion. This is just at a quick glance. You weren't able to be aggressive enough against the Illyrion. I need a way to go offline because this will be tricky if I get pestered with a lot of games.
Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and open up the replay. Ah! Spoilers! Don't look! Avert your eyes! Alrighty, replay fog. And we're gonna have shared fog off. So we're gonna do this from Quetzal's point of view. Purely so that way we could just judge every single move that they make. Alrighty, so what we got here is it is a large map, and it's going to be on lakes, which Quetzal actually performs pretty well on lakes. So can't really go can't really say too much about that. There we go. So Quetzal, one of the benefits is they have a huge resource abundance everywhere. So if you see resources, there's a village in that direction. You got resources everywhere, so you're going to be able to go pretty much any direction. You just got to decide, do you want to go to the left or the right? And at this moment, you're going to go to the right. There's no harm in that. I probably, in this case, it worked out for you. I probably would have gone north, but you end up finding a village. Find 2 villages, and you probably do have one more here in the northern clouds. But for now, definitely be picking up the village after a organization pickup. Now this map is huge. There's not a really good reason to be picking up you shouldn't be picking up and explore this early on, as you need to be a lot closer. Now in a free-for-all game where you're playing like 4 players, this is okay spot to consider because your opponent's probably here. But you should be picking up just workshops on larger maps until you get closer to your opponent, or you're ready to start rushing out with riders. And lo and behold, turns out Illyrion is right there. Oh goody. So we do get to see Illyrion right from the gates. Gonna be picking up another workshop. And at this moment, so you're gonna go with the more economic route of hunting. I would have encouraged picking up riders, because at this point, you could have started considering a very aggressive play that Illyrion has to answer to. You already have your defender right there at their doorstep. The last thing you need is like a single warrior and then a rider, and you are ready to perform what I call the signature play of the Quetzal spear. It's a lot easier to perform with riders though. But if your opponent decides that they want to play passively, which they really shouldn't, then after that you get to punish them and you get to siege their city, which in most cases can't be unsieged. But yeah, so you're gonna go ahead and improve your economy. More resources. Interesting. So you decide to go with another defender. So my question is what's this defender for? Is there a reason for a defender right here? Because I don't see a role that this defender plays. This defender exists solely for the purpose that you think all of your units here are going to die and you're about to be sieged. I wanted to keep Illyrion away for a while. Okay, that's fair enough. There's nothing wrong with that. But let's also consider this. What if, instead of leveling up all these cities this much, sure, you got a pretty strong economic start, because you decided to improve my eco. You're not wrong on that. That's an okay thing to think, but Illyrion's economy is going to be stronger. If you picked up riding here and got a single rider, on this turn, you actually could siege this city right now. Because your opponent did exactly what I was referring to, and they played passively. So, let's just pretend that instead of focusing on your economy, this was, you actually just went ahead, you leveled up what you needed to, and then this defender's a rider. First thing, this rider zips over to this farm, hits the warrior, brings the warrior down to 6, retreats. Okay, the rider did its job. Actually, you probably retreated here so you uncover this singular cloud. Warrior moves here, hits the rider.
hits the warrior, brings it down to 1 HP. The defender then secures the kill, which in this exact case, your opponent can't do anything about. And they can't stop this siege. So you actually could have had this city right here, taken away from Illyrion, and really thrown the tempo way in your favor. Believe it or not, like, if you can secure a strong enough start, it's around this turn exactly right here. Turn 7 is where Quetzali, I would say, is at its strongest. If you have proper support for it. And it's also because of the defenders. Because the defenders are really massive roadblocks that require multiple units of your enemy to destroy. And then if they don't, if the Quetzali can get the defender to be the sieging unit, it's near impossible for the enemy to unsiege it without throwing all their units away. So, for future reference, in this exact scenario where you're right next to your enemy, consider an early Rider, so that way you can perform what I call is the Quetzali Spear, where Rider hits, Warrior hits, Defender, Siege. Because in a lot of cases, unless your opponent's planning around the siege to happen, they lost the city. They can't unsiege it. And then you just train more Riders, so if they siege the counter siege later by killing the defender with, in this case, a Polytar, your Riders just kill the Polytar, you train a defender, they can't do anything about it. And now you've secured a foothold right in your opponent's face. So just a thing to consider in the future, that instead of planning for the late game, you could have killed your opponent off right here using a shield. But instead, we go the more defensive play of, I'm going to get in your way, and the opponent kills off the warrior. Which then allows you to just send your warrior in, and this warrior is also already dead. But you're going to go ahead and continue to try to expand. You've got a lot of warriors all over the place, but they all have a purpose, so not necessarily an issue. Going to go climbing to get that extra vision. This climbing play is way too passive. A lot of if you're picking up climbing, it should be for something. Maybe you're saying you're wanting information over here, but your opponent, if they do decide to pick up Riders, which is always a very strong early game thing to do, they can just ride on through the bottom right over here and continue to harass your city here. And now this city's in danger, and this defender can't do anything about it. It's right over here. Now you're going to gain a lot of information. This is one of the useful things of climbing, is get a whole bunch of information with that. We're going to also go ahead and capture our cities. We're going to level it up. Workshop. Nope. Goes with an Explorer instead. Ooh, boy. So, a Workshop would be okay. I mean, an Explorer would have been okay. I guess you got a lot of vital information. But I probably would have considered, since you don't have Riders yet, you probably should have just gone with a Workshop. And then as this warrior moves out, you get a Rider. Once you pick up this next city over here, assuming that it was not a peninsula, you then could explore with this city and then give your Rider a huge advantage and then get vision of your opponent. Hoping there was a land bridge. Completely understandable, but now you have even more reason to protect this... just this side of the map right over here. And now you're forced to go defenders instead of an optional one. And here's the last reason why defenders are not that great. I love my Quetzali. I will train defenders very rarely. There's only a couple reasons I'll train defenders. And it's A, I just need to buy myself a turn, or B, I'm about to use that defender to make a very aggressive play forward. In this case, you have this defender here. It is doing a zone of control, and that's it. It's not really this defender's not doing anything. This defender is required on the city, but now your opponent has a capital, and this defender's not enough anymore. You need other units. Luckily, this catapult can kill this Polytar. And honestly, like, your only answer here at this moment, you need Riders. There's nothing else you can really do. You need Riders. So you're gonna go ahead and get that kill. New technology. resources. We're gonna do a quick pause really fast. I got riders really late on. Move defender up to the capital. Yeah, so yeah, this defender, it should start being aggressive, because if this defender moves in front of the catapult, this defender, despite only having 1 attack, can deal 5 damage to this catapult, as this catapult has 0 defense. And 2 hits from a defender kills a catapult. Yeah. Making it to where the catapult is essentially useless. And you should try to be using your units to put pressure on your enemy. In this instance. Yeah, didn't know that. I mean, it's a situation that very rarely comes up, but if you compare it to boats, because boats are more reasonable. You can use boats to hit a catapult, it deals 5 damage. Boats have 1 attack, defenders have 1 attack. So 2 boats kills a catapult, 2 defenders kill a catapult. You're probably never going to see it, but it can happen. But that 5 damage is a lot of damage to the catapult. So at this point, you're really focusing on a stronger economy, which you've got. Like, look at this. You're running away with this game. The issue is what are you doing with the economy? What is your economy going towards? Are you making giants? No, you're not. Are you getting onto the water? Because that's expensive in considering customs houses. At this current moment, no, we're not. We do have mathematics, so we can consider a giant at Tekchu, which it's going to help a lot. So that is definitely something you should consider. Yeah, I was considering going to the water. Yeah, your economy's okay. You need the technologies, but like this will help you a lot in the late game. But the issue is you have this you have to deal with, and you're playing way too passively. Now you're getting sieged, which yes, you can unsiege with the catapult, but you're losing those stars. Oh yeah, so you actually did end up hitting the catapult. So there you go, 5 damage. And you can kill the catapult next turn. And they're forced to retreat with the catapult. So you do go on the water. So that's actually, so this is a good play right over here, is to get onto the water. But at this point, you have mathematics. Your top priority should be getting your first giant. It's sure the giant's not going to be here at Kachu. It's not going to be at your capital. It's going to be at this city, Tekchu, where there's absolutely nothing going on. But by getting yourself your first giant, you get the metropolis, which gives you a free 3 pops to any other city of your choice. And that is the the more important reason as to why you should be rushing out giants. Or at least your first giants, is you get the monument, which allows you to then get a giant in a city that is more important, such as Tektal, cheaper, instead of having to use more ports because they're too expensive. You can just use a monument and get a giant on the water. And once a giant's on the water, you get turned into a battleship, and things are going well for you. In the end, I got on the water and had customs houses. Yes, but that takes a lot of time. So everyone here knows, at least when you've been playing single player, one of the best things you could do for the strongest economy is you go customs houses. Produces 2 stars for each nearby port. You can only build 1 customs house per city. It must be built next to a port. The best way for the strongest economy is to go to trade. You pick up customs houses. However, in order to get customs houses, you need sailing. In order to get ports, sailing's a tier 2 tech, so the cheapest it's ever going to be is 6 stars, but you're not picking it up at 6 stars. You're picking it up for, in this case, 16. And then every single port is going to cost you 11 stars. And then you have to go all the way up to trade, which requires riding, which also requires roads, which also requires trade. Just this right here is 48 stars. You're making 24, so you can wait 2 entire turns to do 100% nothing just to pick up a technology, so that way maybe next turn you can start improving your economy. And then after that, you need to start investing stars into ports.
there's an issue with that. Is you need to be spending 4, 5, you need to be spending a lot of turns just doing nothing just to rush to customs houses. You can make it a little bit more seamless though. Earlier I was saying you should have picked up riding already. Riding is essential because it gives you the rider's technology, so that way you could be fighting Illyrion with the best unit that counters Polytars, which is riders. But it also leads you to roads, which is one of the best economic technologies, which in this instance, if you roaded up all these cities, you have another monument. That's the Grand Bazaar, a free 3 pops for any one of your cities. And that can be seamlessly done, and then you can be using the roads to be connecting these cities, and then rush these riders into the opponent's face. Then, instead of having to spend 48 stars, whenever you're ready, you just spend 22 stars, and you could probably build the customs house in the exact same turn. All in the while, putting your opponent in a bad position with the riders and roads. Riders and roads are, I will keep saying it, they're probably overpowered, but because of the way that Polytopia is designed, they can't nerf riders in any sort of way. But instead, we went with the slower economic route. As in this case, so definitely get your first giants, so that way you can try to snowball other cities by getting more giants and get on the wire with a potential giant battleship. Because you can actually start harassing your opponent with boats, and your opponent can't do anything about it. Okay, so the warrior onto the mountain is not a bad idea. Let's see. I probably should have been more aggressive in the early game. Yeah, because now your opponent set up a defensive line, and you can't do anything about it. In the end, he got enough time to get dragons. Yep. Illyrion is slow. They suffer in the early game. Despite them being one of the stronger tribes on Tiny, despite me losing on Tiny, but they are one of the stronger tribes on Tiny, just because if the spawn supports them in the right way, they can make a very aggressive Illyrion push. That very aggressive Illyrion push hurts their early game economy so badly by 1 turn, but that 1 turn slows everything else by 2 turns, 3 turns. And they're forced to go strats like sanctuaries to try to snowball ahead if they got a good spawn. And then they can excel in the late game. They're not the strongest late game tribe, but they are one of the stronger tribes in the late game. They just suffer early game because of it. And we didn't take advantage of that. So you're going to go with a border expansion. Okay, not a terrible play. I mean, there's a lot of Giants potential right here, so it's not terrible. And you got a good customs house spot right here. Yeah, it's not terrible. You got a good sawmill location right here. Good sawmill location right here. But look at this. Your opponent is now... I guess we can't see their stars per turn. Let's just switch to them just for a moment. Yeah, they've been expanding a lot in the back, and they've actually got the same economy as you do. And they're able to focus, since they have all these units to defend the front line with catapults and everything, they can just focus fully on the economy for the next while and then snowball ahead. Yep. Alright, finally getting our first giant. That's going to allow us to get another giant right over here at Tektal. But the issue is, they've got a Polytar right here that you can't do squat about. This catapult can hurt it. I think it actually one-shot it, if I remember now correctly. So you can kill that Polytar, but you got to deal with other issues first. Yeah, they're going to continue to siege the city. They're now attacking your catapult. Yep. Alrighty, so now you're starting to go with the rider roads. And maybe in a moment you could actually make a seamless transition
into customs houses. Because if you can get a whole bunch of customs houses and outproduce your opponent economically, you'll be in a good spot. And you do have the economy to do so now. But you do need a few more supporting units first. So maybe more riders, a couple of catapults here just to protect this border. And you'll be in a much better spot. Whaling. Oh, but that was for ruins. Okay. Goodness. So now you're slowly starting to see you got a few riders. You can start rushing these riders forward, and notice these riders are actually pretty good about fighting everything off over here. This is something you should have had 13 turns ago, because those riders could have again allowed you to siege the certain city. And instead of fighting at this very narrow choke point, you could actually be fighting at the enemy's capital. Oop, and your opponent's trying to get on the water. Don't let them get on the water. Hopefully you end up killing off the ship over there. Yeah, they've now got multiple eggs. And you're on a timer. If they get a massive dragons up, the game's going to be over. Alright, so you do a good job about clearing everything. Beautiful siege. We're just going to prevent the... We're not... The siege isn't going to hold, but we're going to hold their economy just ever so slightly and force them. They used the polytar instead of the catapults. That was their mistake. Right over here, more dragons, more dragons. Honestly, your better answer is you need to rush into the back. Knights are a good answer for being able to rush all the way through to kill dragons. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of dragons. We've already got 2 baby dragons. Just needs a time wizard in order to turn them into fully grown adults. But the last thing is you need giants on the water and turn them into giant battleships. Giant battleships perform very well against dragons. Instead, we put our giants all the way over here onto the land, and now the giant is dead. Yeah, 'cause giants are definitely not going to be holding any siege over here. We're going to be spending a lot of our economy. You need to be, at this point, we're turn 21, you actually can't afford customs houses. You can let one boat onto the water. That one's going to be fine. It's not going to cause any harm. If you can start getting those customs houses snowballing your economy out of control in your way, maybe you could produce enough battleships that your opponent can't do anything about. Because dragons, they don't do great against battleships, especially if the battleships are properly spaced out. But, yeah. So we use our giants aggressively here, pushing it ever so slightly, and is met with a defender. These catapults are going to prevent the giant from doing anything. The giant's better on the water. So, customs houses, in this moment, are your best friend. Remember how earlier I was saying it's too soon? Now is the perfect time to be going customs houses. You get the first kill on the dragon. Beautiful. Try to space your units out a little bit better, but you got your first kill. And notice these battleships, while expensive, they're going to perform well against these dragons. But now it's a little bit too late. You do not have enough economy to be pumping out enough battleships every turn, and it's a little too late to be making customs houses. However, whenever you're making customs houses, you also got to remember that at the exact same time, you're also leveling cities up, which can create giants for you. To put giants in the water, create giant battleships, and then while those giant battleships can harass and fight, you could be creating even more customs houses. It's sort of one of those, it's a little flow of you got a lot of units that you really want to do. You have you still need units to support your giant battleship, but it's a lot more straightforward than that. So your last best bet are knights. And at least for the land battles all the way over here. Ooh, I actually missed this over here. You went with diplomacy, and you're going to be trying to make those cloaks do a thing. You're gonna notice it's not gonna be that great, though. I guarantee you. You're gonna find out that this cloak's not gonna accomplish much. Oh! And the cloak got revealed. He got knights to defend against the cloaks. Yeah, that makes sense. Always be aware that whenever you reveal cloaks, your opponent is going to be beelining knights. Because knights are the best defense against cloaks. There are other... Oh, no! Knights are the best defense against cloaks. So, this is really sad of what just happened here. You got a little too ambitious. You went, I'm going to go ahead and hurry up and get my giant. But when you create a giant, it's going to push whatever units on the city. And it had nowhere to go. You needed a port somewhere. The best place is, of course, just to put the port right here to support the customs house. Oh, no. What if this was right here instead? Oh. And that's a dead defender. That, my friend, is a bummer. Yeah, everywhere but there. So, yeah, you lost a defender, which is actually going to be quite a bit of tempo that you're going to lose right there because of that. Your economy is now at 62 stars per turn. Let's compare it to Illyrion's. Illyrion's at 77, because they're also going customs houses, but they also have the benefit of sanctuaries. So this is why I said in the late game, Illyrion's going to have the better economy. That even though they can still build customs houses, the sanctuaries and good positions are going to really snowball their economy out of control. And there's not much that US Quetzalcoatl can do about that. Your best bet is you need it to be really aggressive against them, because notice dragons, they take 6 turns before they're fully effective. Which means you have time. Because of Illyrion early game, where they create polytars, they have less stars per turn. Very early on, it's harder for them to get early levels on their cities, and they're gonna have to wait like a turn or two, which means they're even weaker in their early game. Your best bet against the Illyrion is their early game. Be aggressive against them and take advantage of their weaker economy. If you're able to pump out a few riders here in this early game, I guarantee you that this game would have been a lot different. You would have definitely had at least this city, and you would have been able to contest for these 2 cities over here, and they would not have a narrow choke point to be fighting and defending on. They would have had a large line that is a lot harder for them to defend and almost impossible. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and continue the replay kind of without pause. Put on a small scaling. Dang. Medium scaling. Just so it's a little bit easier to see the entire map. But at this point, you're now fighting an uphill battle that Illyrion has full control over. Because the second benefit of sanctuaries is they get to make polytars basically every 2 turns. Which means they can throw even more units onto the water every single turn. And when it comes to naval combat, it's more so a game about economy rather than micromanaging. Because sure, micromanaging does play a part, but whoever can throw more stars onto the water wins. Whoever can throw more stars onto the water and keep those stars on the water wins. Which, yeah, so you're doing an okay job trying to continue to attack with cloaks, but cloaks against dragons, not the answer. A single dragon can clear an entire batch of cloaks nearly on its own. You need to be hitting larger cities with cloaks, and yeah, that's not going to be happening. So at this point, the dragons are going to just start assaulting you everywhere. That was a long game, even with the replay. Yeah, so at this point, there's not really a good way for you to be able to salvage it. Every chance you had to be aggressive got thwarted, as you ended up playing pretty passive this game. Now, I will continue to always say I am an extremely aggressive player, or at least that's my playstyle, is I play very aggressively. But the aggressive playstyle is what prevents all this buildup. Because if you give anybody enough time to build up their forces, yeah, they're going to be able to accomplish this and snowball in the late. So, hope you ended up learning something. Oh yeah, and when you go cloaks, you also are essentially required archery and climbing. I don't know if that needed to be said, but the fact that you did not have archery to support your daggers made this a lot more difficult for you as well. So, thank you very much for sharing that replay. I hope you ended up learning something from that. It's been 3 hours, and I've got more stuff I got to do for today. I guess we could just finish with a couple more questions, if anybody has any. But at this point, we're going to be bringing the stream to a close. Absolutely. I hope you did learn a lot. I look forward to your next replay where you're going to tell me that I tried your play and it didn't work. For Quetzali. But yeah, so defender supported with 2 riders can siege a city, or a rider and a warrior if you know how to position it correctly. But yeah, more so easily, a defender supported with 2 riders can siege a city. How do I join the Polychamp League? So the Polychamp League is... I can get a link for that, actually. Let's see, Polychamps. Because, yeah, pretty much anybody's allowed to join the Polychamp League. So we're going to go ahead and copy this. I wonder if I can post that here. Probably not. Alright, so yeah, that's the Polychampion League. And that's where it's going to be 2v2 games. Yeah, you're welcome. Good luck. Yeah, I'm currently in Team Reaper. I'm considering asking for a trade to go like, hey, I just want to explore the other teams. Because I'm having an okay time in the Reapers team. But I think it's just one of those, I think it may be time for me to branch out. I did end up winning my 2v2 game. I did a stream yesterday discussing the 2v2 replay. Actually, no, I didn't discuss the 2v2 replay. Did it finish? Hold on, maybe I can find that replay. Because the game did finish. Because I was in a pro game. Even though I'm only a junior player, but I was in a pro game, and it was a pretty close game. Seasonal game plague. Is it gonna be under the archives? Local games. Right over here. Actually, I do have the replay. Oh, actually the game's not finished. I can't share the replay. Because despite the professional game, the enemy surrendered. They actually haven't finished. Like they haven't left the game yet or anything. So the game's kind of in limbo right now. But I definitely want to share that game the moment I have access to that replay. Howdy, Zon. Can you send a message in the Discord when you go live? Yeah, I can definitely do that. I'll go ahead and do that. I'll do that in the future. So when it comes to replay submissions, should it be games where you lost or struggled, or could it be games you are proud of? I mean, you can share games that you're proud of, but it'll be a lot more beneficial if... it'll be more beneficial to kind of everybody if we show... I mean, I can still kind of review like what the opponent could have done better. But it's a lot easier for you to get something out of it if you are sitting here going like, what could I... Or, I mean, we can always go like, what could you have done better? But you can share games that you're proud of. Just let me know, like, hey, this is a game that I'm proud of. Because if we get up to a moment where there's no other games in the replays, what probably recommend watching to get into the game? That is an excellent question, Zon. I've actually started trying to make videos for that, but there is a specific YouTuber. He actually visited the live stream yesterday. I was actually really happy about that. But Goalie, so YouTube, Goalie. Let me get you a videos of YouTube Goalie. No, just give me the YouTuber. It's gonna be with 2 Y's. Of course, being useful. If it wasn't for the fact that I was trying to save points and get some free stuff out of this, I wouldn't be using Bing. But yeah, no, Goalie is actually what got me a lot into continuing Polytopia and where I am right now. Let me actually.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Goalie here. Welcome.
Yeah, so that's the introduction that you're looking for. Is that one in particular? Let me find the perfect video for new players looking for like how to get into it. Because lately his videos have all been about like, hey, here's been some exciting games, and they've been some really cool games too. Let's see, new update. He covers a lot of those. Number 1 tip for all players. I think this is the video I'd be recommending. Movements and roads. Guide to score counting. Nope. Control the situation. Harder strong. 5-star scam. Let me see. Intense battle. Where have I been? Everyone, all Polytopia content creators have that thing where everyone goes like, "What happened? Where's the content?" And I guarantee you. So here's I will tell you exactly what happens to all of the Polytopia content creators. We all start off going, "I'm gonna make Polytopia videos." We make a video and then we go, "That was cool, but I know what I could have done better." And then after that, they make their second video, and it is slightly better.
Turn to do this.
So I think this is the video. We're gonna copy this link. I'm gonna mute this video. I'm gonna just kind of skip ahead. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, so this is the video exactly in particular. What I actually may do is make a new text channel for on New to the Game help, and then I'll have a few links to a whole bunch of videos. But yeah, that is Goalie. Yeah. So exactly what happens to all of the Polytopia content creators is alrighty. We all go, I'm gonna do this a little bit better, I'm gonna do this a little bit better. And then we're gonna just say, I think the magic number is like 7 videos, and then we get to that moment where we make a video and for the first time we go, this video is not good enough. Okay, you know what? We'll do a different one. And then after that, they release an 8th video. And then they try to continue making that, and then something happens, and then they go, oh, I gotta plan this out now. So I want to make a video that does this and this. And what ends up happening is we want to make videos that aren't just rushed out. To be constantly giving content, but it's gonna be kind of just, because all the content creators have pride in their videos. The issue is to make those videos, it takes time, and it takes a decent amount of time. The more attention to detail we start to put into it, the longer it takes for us to actually make the content. However, by doing these live streams, I can make content quite easily and then be like, look, this is a live stream. That was it. And I am still working on videos. It's not going to be as fast as it was, but Yep, I like rushing out videos, right? But so the main difference is if I can, I do plan on trying to continue doing more live streams, so that way we have a constant flow of Polytopia content that people actually get to interact with, heck, actually live. Where if anyone has questions or they have like, hey, this is fantastic, I want to play, we can do that. But in order to make like an actual higher quality video, that's gonna take time. So that's what ends up happening to like all of the content creators. Keep playing live with subs. Yeah, I mean, I plan on doing that because as long as people are constantly going like, hey, let's have some fun, I'm perfectly fine with having fun. And if we get enough people, we could probably consider stuff like hosting our own little tournaments or something like that. And then we can actually just watch the replays of y'all on a tournament. And most tournaments end up being mirrors. But I would like to try to find a solution to that. We'll see. Because like notice like I can still do pretty fine. Like I did okay in the I still did okay in the Aquarion game that I got destroyed. I did everything I could in that Quetzali game that I got destroyed, but like a lot of those were kind of just pre-scripted on how those games would go. But on larger maps, like a normal lakes, in my opinion, normal lakes is the most balanced map type out there. The issue is that can take time. Small is aggressive tribes can still be aggressive, but the slower tribes have an option of being defensive. Let's see what else. Keep playing. So yeah, Jackknife. Yeah. So I definitely do plan on doing more live. We're gonna go ahead and decline these games because it is now time for me to be taking care of some other things. I've got this beautiful one who is ready for some more attention. She's been very patient. And it's just I have other things I need to take care of today. But I had fun. So we live streamed last night. Well, for me, we live streamed last night and we live streamed this morning. We live streamed last night. We live streamed this morning. We got a lot of hours. So I hope you all learned something from this. I hope you all had a wonderful time. And yeah, we're probably gonna end up having a schedule very similar to this one, where Wednesday nights is gonna be a stream, and then, well, this is for me. So Wednesday nights is gonna be for my evening streams, and then Thursday morning, just like we are right now, have another stream. Go get it. There you go. But yeah, so thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm still finishing getting everything I need for the barter video, because I'm gonna try to make it as humorous as possible, just like the Yadak one. And yeah, if you want to actually learn how to play Yadak, definitely watch the Yadak video I made. But yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. I'll see y'all next time. Is there like a thing? Maybe I should like get a little window to be all like, bye, thanks for tuning in, and then we can end the stream like that. I want to play more, but I got stuff to do.